Well, we're just about ready to go with our mid-session. It's the women's 1500 meters freestyle heats, and we start with heat 1. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Summer Championships 2018 1500 meter action once again here today. We saw the boys yesterday, now it's the turn of the girls. As you can see, heat number 1. Stephen Jameson back with you on commentary duty. And Jonathan Allen take a very well-deserved lunch break after another fascinating morning of swimming here in Pond's Forge. And don't forget, those of you watching on the stream, we do love to hear your support. Let us know who you're cheering on. Use the hashtag SummerChamps18, and don't forget you can do that inside the venue as well. Let us know who you're cheering on. Again, that hashtag SummerChamps18. In the water at the minute is heat number 1, as I say, and we'll run you through the starting swimmers here. In lane 1 is Kathleen Baker of Poole. In 2 is Lucy Pearce from Swim Bournemouth. In 3 from Wickham District goes Marissa Booth. In 4 is Amy Farthing from Sevenoaks. Deventio excels. Mia Watt goes in lane 5. Harriet Smith is in 6 from Wrekin College. In 7, Tegan Wollaston from Borough Broxdow. And in 8, it's Lucy Caroline Taylor from Airdrie. Good start being made in lanes 5 and 6 in particular from the Deventio and Wrekin swimmers. That's Mia Watt and Harriet Smith who lead the way. I've had some tweets coming in the last 30 minutes or so. Congratulations in order for Rhiannon Bowen, who's in the 100 metre free final tonight. Her first ever British national final. Big congratulations to Rhiannon, who's swimming for Team Bath. Thanks as well to Jake, who's cheering on Marissa Booth. In this one, she's going in lane 3 and going pretty well too. She's just about in 3rd position at the moment, is the youngster from Wickham District. The youngest swimmer in this race. Leading the way out in lane 6 is Harriet Smith from Wrekin College. She's also one of the younger swimmers in this one, herself and Mia, both 14 this year. Swims will be around about the 18-minute mark. As yesterday, we do have 8 heats in total. We will have 7 in this mini session tonight. The very first race of the evening session coming up at 4:30 is the 1500 fastest heat, which is heat 8. And we'll see our quickest ladies go in that one. Just starting to stretch out a little bit of a lead here is Harriet Smith in lane 6, just in front of Mia Watt in 5. In third place in the third lane is Marissa Booth from Wickham District. Turning in 4th in lane 4 is Amy Farthing from Sevenoaks. And in 5th place in lane 2 is Lucy Pearce from Swin Bournemouth. In lane 1 next it's then Kathleen Baker. And then Tegan Wollaston in lane 7. And on the outside, in lane 8, that's Lucy Caroline Taylor. Harriet Smith the leads then, looking to beat her entry time of 18:16.98. It is also her personal best. She swam that in Coventry in April. So relatively recently. In behind her as we approach the halfway stage is Mia Watt from Davencio Excel. Her entry time again is also her PB, 18:16.73, marginally quicker than Harriet Smith. She set that even more recently as well in Loughborough in May. Some of the coaches and swimmers on the far side have got the right idea. Brought some camp chairs along with them to this afternoon session. In for the long haul, that's what we like to see. As we reach the halfway point, Harriet Smith who leads, bang on 9 minutes, 9:00.16, which is looking good for her if she can keep that pace up. Lots of factors go into a 1500-meter race. These youngsters will have plotted with their coaches their tactics and their plans. Consistency is key. Harriet going about 37.550. Maintaining that speed really well. In fact, pretty much bang on, 37.5 again, and this is the consistency that I mentioned from Harriet Smith here. Really good so far. Solidly churning out those 50-meter lengths. The rest of the field remains largely unchanged. Although the biggest alteration, I'd say, is the emergence of Marissa Booth in lane 3 from Ripon District. She's now pushing quite hard for second place behind Mia Watt. She's not too far behind Harriet Smith either. I don't think this race is over just yet. Still a long, long way to go, of course. 11 lengths. Call it 10 and a half. And the top three look pretty much set in stone. Two closest chasers, and 4 and 2 are Amy Farthing and Lucy Pearce. And then Kathleen Baker, who's followed by Tegan Wollaston. And at the back of the field is Lucy Caroline Taylor, who is in danger of being lapped at this pace. Entry time of 19:56 is a good minute behind the next quickest entry time, something like that in Tollcross in Glasgow back in May. She is in this race on merit. Of course, for most of us, it's all about personal goals. And Lucy Caroline Taylor will be looking to get inside that personal best, if she possibly can. Big shout out to Alyssa Clark, who's watching on the live stream. She's cheering on Lucy Pearce from Swin Bournemouth in this one in lane 2, all the way from Germany. Guten Tag, Alyssa. Sure, Lucy is appreciative of your support. And she is in 4th place at the moment. Battle for second, meanwhile, and he's changing all the time. Marissa Booth in lane 3 has gradually hauled back the advantage of Mia Watt in lane 5. Harriet Smith then maintains her lead. In second place is Marissa Booth. Youngest in the race, in second place. Alright, getting a lot of support down on the pool deck here at Ponds, which is good to see. And indeed here. And we're towards the business end of this one. Just 200 metres left to go for our swimmers at the head of the pack. Harriet Smith looks really strong here for Wrekin College. Being urged on by her team. Just wonder what Marissa Booth can do in this final 160 metres or so. She's within striking range. Would need a big finish though. She has swum a superb second half of the race in particular. All three swimmers at the front are really starting to push. Again, a reminder of the entry times and indeed the personal bests of our front three. Harriet Smith, as she takes the belt, is looking to get inside 18:16. She's in a pretty good position to do it. Marissa Booth also looking at 18:16. So too, actually, is Mia Watt. How close will these girls go to those times? The bell means there's just 100 metres of that lane's race to go. We start to creep towards the finish here of our first heat of the 1500 metres in the women's event. And back comes Harriet Smith. Needs a big push here as she hunts down that personal best. Just how quick can she go? Mind if she's looking, as all of our leading swimmers are here, for 18:16. She's going to be inside it and she's going to win the race. Really, really good swim from Harriet Smith and a big personal best as well. She comes in 18:11. Terrific swim from Harriet Smith. In at second place, the youngest in the race, Marissa Booth, breaks her own personal best too. Just outside hers is Mia Watt with a very good swim in third. Big congratulations to the young ladies there at the front of the race. Coming in next in lane 2 is Lucy Pearce, being cheered on by her supporters all the way across Europe. In fourth, Amy Farthing finishes in fifth. Coming in sixth place on this near side is Kathleen Baker, I should say, from Poole. 18:48 for Kathleen Baker, just outside her personal best that she set in May at Millfield. Close as well. 18:45 was it, and 18:48 in the pool today. We've still got one swimmer left in the pool. That's Lucy Caroline Taylor. Her personal best is indeed her entry time, 19:56. if she can get a bit of a skate on in this final 50 metres, then she's got half a chance of doing it here. 19:23 with 50 to go for the airdrie swimmer. Set 19:56.14 in Tollcross in Glasgow in May. And she's going to look to be inside it here. She looks like she might just be outside of it, mind. Big finish required. Final 10 metres then, ladies and gentlemen. Let's help her home. In comes Lucy Caroline Taylor. Just outside the 20-minute mark for the airdrie swimmer as she touches in to complete the race. Clear either side, and we look ahead to our next race, which is heat number 2 of the women's 1500 metres freestyle. Reminder to keep getting in touch with us on the hashtag SummerChamps18. Let us know who you are supporting and where from this afternoon. Swimmers all really appreciate your support. Heat 2.
And off we go with heat number 2 in lane 0 from East Kilbride, Lisa Miller. She's in the 17-18 year category, as is Sharon Daligan of Ellesmere College Titans in lane number 1. There are 3 13-14-year-old swimmers next up. Charlotte Wensley of Guildford City in lane 2. Amy Hood of City of Coventry in lane 3. Nella Dyson of Wickham District in lane number 4. Going in lane 5 from Heart of Midlothian is Katie Taylor. In 6 from Team Luton, Chantal Smith. In 7, 8 and 9 in the 15-year category. We have Katie Hammond of City of Cambridge, Jennifer Murray of North Ayrshire, and Taylor O'Rourke of Northampton. Quite a few of these swimmers, I have to say, names that haven't seen too often so far this week. Obviously, qualifying here for this event alone, which is no mean feat. These 10 swimmers just separated on the entry by a total of 3.1 second. But anyway, some of the younger swimmers that have not swum this race too many times. Of course, we don't usually get women swimming this race too often, either at the British Summer National. So there is an awful lot of room for improvement. They already have been evident with some of the times we were getting in Heat 1 and the improvements on the PBs there. It was evident just a case of these swimmers going out there swimming their own race. They're not actually really racing against one another and trying to get first and only first in the heat. There's such a mixture of age groups that it's just who in their age group has swum better than them that they'll be concerned about.
Don't forget, you can still enter the competition that we have going here for people within the venue, so it's not open for those watching on the stream, but it is open for those of you sat in the stands watching the action here. You can be an athlete, you can be a coach, you can be a spectator, you can be a volunteer, it doesn't matter. As long as you send us a picture with the hashtag SummerChamps18 and the hashtag TYR, that's TYR, you can be in with a chance of winning a brand new TYR Alliance rucksack. All you got to do is send a picture that makes me and Jonathan smile or laugh. We want to see a good picture of one of you guys up in the stands. Show us something that makes us tickle. And you could be in with a chance of winning that brand new TYR rucksack, just like Nadine did yesterday. .94 seconds at the moment, the difference between Shannon Daligan in lane 1 and Ella Dyson of Wickham District in lane 4. Daligan in the 17-18 year age group and Dyson in the 13-14, despite the fact she is the quickest seed, if you like, in this heat. 18:09.97 was her entry time.
Every turn these swimmers inching closer and closer towards the halfway point. See the involvement here, some parents talking to coaches on the far side, just keeping in contact. Assessing what's happening in the pool at the moment. Is it going to plan? Things can be worked on after this. Plenty of room for discussion, good or bad, to come from a 1500 metre freestyle, and there's so many different parts of the race as well you can look at where things were won and lost. It can just be one little fault in there, but usually it's an accumulation of things in such a long distance. Shannon Dalligan, though, is looking in a good way. You wonder if being put on the outer lanes just changed the psychology somewhat of some of these swimmers, thinking they'll maybe go a bit braver than they would have done had they been one of the favourites down the middle. It may just be completely irrelevant. It really is fascinating to look at the different ways that swimmers go about a race. But if you do get the timings wrong, you really can live to rue them. That's the halfway point. Shannon Dalligan, 50% of the way there.
A little bit more now. She heads back towards the leaderboard then, 9:56.05 at the last turn. Charlotte Wednesday is the last to take the tumble at the far end, which means she's, give or take, about 40 metres down on the current leader. One of the 14-year-olds in this one. Got Amy Hood and Dyson as well. Hammond, Murray and O'Rourke. She is 15. Dalligan still in control. 18:12.26. The personal best that exists for Shannon. It was done in April of this year in Coventry. Dyson still in second. Well, Dyson's personal best 17:59.08. At Tollcross in July. Turning again. At the diving pin end. Delegate in control. 13:31.49 at that last turn. 13:37.69 for Dyson in second. Taylor in third. 13:39.55. So not a great deal between those two. Jonathan Murray, their ship, is in fourth position. Not too far behind her is Amy Hood, City of Coventry.
You can see some of our swimmers at the scoreboard and getting ready for the next race. We are getting towards the dying embers of heat number 2, where Shannon Daligan has been phenomenal so far. Which is left in the locker. She kicks beginning to splutter on the legs of Katie Taylor in lane 5. Hardly loathing swimmer who's still got about 2.5 seconds between her and Ella Dyson in lane 4. Ella Dyson turning there, bang on 16. And elegant. Almost a whole 7 seconds in front. So off go the chimes of the bells, ringing out on 1,500 metres down. Well, Daligan's going to win this. It's about the time she gets. She's in the 17-18 year category, and as you can imagine, there's quite a few of them coming up. Couple in the next heat as well. It's always refreshing when you see someone on the outer lane attack it from the start and actually manage to maintain it. The lungs will be screaming for her to stop, which she can now. 17:39.69 is the time it took her to start and finish that race. Second for Ella Dyson. And in comes Katie Taylor. Your front three, more or less the same throughout, weren't they? But it's down to them to keep on going and keep on consolidating their place in the pool. And they managed to do that. 4th spot for Amy Hood, 18:04.54. And a second, a half second behind her is Chantal Smith of Team Luton. fact, Jennifer Murray in fourth, we heard in fifth, just a bit of an error on the scoreboard there. 18.03.05 certainly isn't the same as 18.04.54, but we knew that anyway. So we just get the confirmation of that very shortly. Delegan from Dyson, from Taylor. You'll have to take my words for it as we move on now to heat number 3.
Here we go with Gabriella Youngsdo Patrocinio, talking Dean in lane 0. Ella Took, time left in 1. Kelly Wormsley here in 2. Alexander Palotai Avella goes in 3. Lucy Peck, West Norfolk in 4. 5 is Charlotte Johnson of West Sussex. Amber Downham, Chesterfield in 6. Ella Corby, South Croydon in 7. Jessica Arundel, Violet Copful in 8. And Megan Smith, City of Oxford, is in 9.
And one then, Ella Tuck has taken the lead. 5:07.71 was the latest of the splits. Colleen Walmsley in lane 2. And the Corby up there as well right now, pretty much level with Colleen Walmsley. No one dropping off yet though, good to see. Ella Tuck trying to pull away. At the moment, who's to see who is where. Tick at the front, Ella Tuck still the one in lane 1. And then 2, second, Colleen Walmsley. And Corby third. And lane 5, Charlotte Johnson. We're just behind her. And there. Chasing pack. Oh, the front 5 are keeping in touch and distance with each other. Lanes 8 and 9, Jessica Rundale and Megan Smith just keeping a tab on one another. Really encouraging for Charlotte Johnson right now in lane 5 for Mid-Sussex, past the halfway point and realising this is her time to crank up a gear or two. Of course, trying to do it in the most economical way possible, taxing the body too much. She's now got herself into third. Colleen Walmsley next in her sights. That'll be more of a difficult task. That'll probably mean her relying on Walmsley to drop off a bit. Still Ella Tuck in control. Just to run you through who is in each of the age categories. 15-year-olds in this consist of Gabriella Youngs Dobracino in lane 0. Lucy Peck in 4, Charlotte Johnson in 5, and Megan Smith in 9. 13-14-year-olds, Ella Tuck in lane 1 is in that category, as is Alexandra Palatayeva in 3. Amber Downham in 6, Jessica Rundale in 8. And the rest in the 17-18-year category, where you have Colleen Walmsley, lane number 2, Ella Corby, lane number 7. Ella Tuck, though, the youngest age group. Fastest swimmer. And still quite a few in the 14-year category to come. No one I don't think will be expecting to beat the current age group record actually for that, which is a record that's 9 years old. Set by Danielle Hall Jackson, 16:41.34. I think managing to get under 17 minutes at this stage of the heats would be very impressive stuff if that was to happen in any of the age categories. All about the times against the British records, all about the times against your rivals in your age group. And Ella Tuck's rivals, a few of them coming up in the next 3 or 4 heats. Maybe watching this with a keen lens.
Still took the leader from Walmsley, from Johnson in the 5th lane for Mid-Sussex. And 7 sees Ella Corby, and she's currently in fourth. Ella Tuck's personal best is showing as 18:08.50. It's her entry time as well, so she'll be looking to go better than that. She's looking very good for it as well. Not too far away from the finish for these ladies now. She will be feeling all manner of pain, but she will also know there's only 100 left. So Ella Tuck, timeout again, chasing 18:08.50. In second is Walmsley. Kane Walmsley has a personal best of 18:07.31. So clearly Ella Tuck going brilliantly here. $15 more meters then for Ella Tuck. Getting plenty of encouragement. And she wants to be inside 18:08.50, miles inside. 17:32.83. Big, big improvement on what we have here as her personal best. Walmsley coming in towards the finish. 18:07, and that's another big personal best as well. And now they're all pushing on for a finish. Screaming at the pause, a lady waving her arm furiously at the back of the stand. And now she's applauding as well, so she's delighted. Or gutted, can't quite tell that range of emotion from up here. Anna Corby just missing out on 18 minutes. That's what those two ladies were agonising over at the top of the stand. What a difference 0.01 makes, eh? That's the length of time a man is allowed over when he says he'll be back by 5. 0.01. Now, he knows it. Look at him. He knows exactly what I mean. Waiting for the official times to come up. So apologies for the short delay. Don't forget, if you want to enter the competition, you've still got plenty of time right to the end of these 1500s. All you got to do is take a picture, send it in, make us laugh. Maybe you took a picture of those two ladies at the back dancing around like a mad thing. Send it with the hashtag SummerChamps18 and hashtag Tia on Instagram or Twitter. Best picture at the end of the 1500s wins themselves a brand new Tia backpack. These initial ladies from Heat 3 out of the pool, just trying to sort out the scoreboard. It might not be far away actually. Part of the learning process, this, standing and waiting, and we don't have to wait much longer. Here comes heat number 4.
we go with heat number 4. A reminder, there are 7 heats in total. The 8th heat will be at the start of the evening session. That's still like 2.5 hours away, 4:30, of course, the start for that. Do be reminded as well that, of course, the warm-up for the evening session starts at 3, but it will be initially in the diving pit. As of course, this event will run over into the start of that warm-up. Do be aware, coaches and swimmers who are taking part into tonight's finals warm-ups will be in the diving pit initially for around 20 to 25 minutes, we hope. And that is when this event will be completed. Let's meet the contenders then in heat number 4. Lane 0 from Middlesbrough, Rachel Bradley. And 1 from Noah Centurion, Olivia Kingsland. Representing Paul in lane 2 is Thea O'Keefe. And 3 from Epsom, Sadie Flynn. Harriet Salisbury is from City of Peterborough and goes in 4th. Lane 5 from Adventure Excel is Harmony Torrington. 6 from Amersham, Katie Thompson. And 7 is Basildon Phoenix's Ellie Wheeler. 8 from Barnet Copthall is Annalise Carver-Barella. And 9 representing Aberdeen is, of course, Rebecca Reed. Just a reminder as well that there will be that swimming and parents talk, an information session for parents and guardians of swimmers competing here, aged 13 to 14 years old. And of course, as always, we're talking about the talent pathway that will be delivered within the 2018 to 2021 cycle. Of course, an important time. A lot of our swimmers have that cycle ahead of the next Olympic Games. This session will take place in the Skyline Bar here at Ponds Forge, if you're unsure where that is. Or skim over the British swimming team, or at the reception desk here at Ponds Forge. Able to direct it. That's taking place tomorrow, 1 until 2, so 23 hours away. Places are limited and will be offered on a first-come, first-served basis. That parents' talk for swimmers competing between the age of 13 to 14 years, taking place tomorrow at the Skyline Bar here at Ponds Forge, 1 PM until 2. Wheeler leading proceedings by almost a couple of seconds right now. Here is Kath in lane 7. With Katie Thompson, those two in the 16-year category. Also in that bracket, Sadie Flynn in 3 and Rebecca Reed in 9. As for the youngest category, the 13-14 years old, Olivia Kingsland in 1, Eric Salisbury in 4, and Harmony Torrington in 5. Not too many more 13-14-year-old swimmers to come. In total, there are 4 more. So maybe a chance for one of those 3 to stake a claim for the podium. Rachel Bradley is the only 15-year-old swimmer. She goes in lane 0. And the 17-18-year-olds are represented by Thea O'Keefe in 2 and Annalise Carla Varela in 8. We're still about the 16-year-olds at the minute. Wheeler ahead of Thompson. Just over a second now, 1:03. As we now come to the halfway point. Well, they never disappoint the coaches and the parents as well with the shouts coming from the side. These swimmers are not alone in the pool, but you can get pretty lonely out there when you're going back and forth for 20 minutes or so. Reassuring that there's someone with them every bit of the way. The gap narrowing, or maybe flipping now into Katie Thompson's favour for Amersham. In fact, at 0.21 seconds ahead there at the last touch of the wall. This is an important turn this for Ellie Wheeler, just to keep in touching distance, because Katie Thompson has just bought herself a new engine. O'Keefe beginning to arrive onto the seat as well in lane 2, and to her right Olivia Kingsland of Nova Centurion. Those two happy to leave Rachel Bradley in their midst in lane 0. Well, looks like we're going to get to the point here with the front 4, that maybe even the 5 as well, to include Rachel Bradley in lane 0, that we're going to get to the wall here. It's just going to be straight out 400-metre freestyle race. And of course, you add to the fact that they've had a previous 1100 metres, but nothing really has split them in that time. Thompson leading. Wheeler next. Kingland there turning before O'Keefe. And Kingland has crept up in lane 1 over the last 150. That's now paying off. Is there anything that Alice Carver-Varela can offer from Barnett Cockthorpe? She's been on her own for a lot of the time, with Ellie Wheeler to her right so far in front and Rebecca Reid to her left so far behind her. But really, we want to use as a bit of a reference point this moment in the race. Kingland leading out of the 13-14-year-olds then, and that's not expected. You consider that French Salisbury and Harmony Torrington down the middle, also in that age category. And of course, seeded in the fastest 2 lanes. The only 2 in this heat to get under 18 minutes on their entry times. Just shows you it's a bit of a guide, but it's certainly not a firm way of predicting the outcome of this. Kingsland beginning to separate from O'Keefe. Thompson carrying on in her attempt to separate herself from Ellie Wheeler. Wheeler is ahead, still Thea O'Keefe, and really not being outside the top 3 yet. 250 metres to go, and Livia Kingsland is having a storming time of it in lane 1, and that would not be for the first time out of swimmers that have been given that lane for this race, with Ella Tuck, of course, in the previous heat, making sure that her final position corresponded with her lane number. Katie Thompson, though, at the moment, the only obstacle facing Livia Kingsland in terms of personnel. Other obstacles, of course, the usual, the lactic acid build-up's will have been there a while now, and burning of the lungs, physical aching, and the mental torment of doing the same physical, arduous stroke the previous over 15.5 minutes now. Well, this is fascinating, isn't it? Kingsland in front for the first time by 100th of a second ahead of Katie Thompson, and support needed here for both the Nova Centurion swimmer in 1 and Amersham's Katie Thompson in lane 6, and Thea O'Keefe as well. It's a gritty display from her because she has caught up with Ellie Wheeler, and those 2 are level now, and it may be O'Keefe going in to the final 100 with the advantage. Here come the bells. Turning first, we have Livia Kingsland of Nova Centurion, 16:29, 8.5 the time that she turns on there. That is now 3/4 of a second better than that of Katie Thompson of Amersham. It's really beginning to split at the front, and Livia Kingsland not really looking across to that far side, and maybe not too aware of what is happening. Certainly Katie Thompson is coming up for air and looking towards the near side, and we'll see Livia Kingsland in lane 1 ever so briefly as she comes up for a bit of oxygen. They turn for the final time, and you have to say the last 200 metres they've more or less turned simultaneously with one another, but each of those times Kingsland has been marginally in front as they gun it now for home. Both very similar really in terms of the impact they're having on the water, but who is moving at the brisker pace? Still nothing really budging behind them either, between O'Keefe in second, or in lane 2 should I say, Ellie Wheeler in lane 7. Now, is there a late comeback here from Katie Thompson? Has Livia Kingsland just gone 50 metres too short? No, she's done it. Livia Kingsland with an epic display at the end there, 17:38.29. Katie Thompson towards the front throughout, takes off her cap, and just breathes a big sigh of relief that it's all over. Sees a time of 17:38.57. Some really encouraging times there for a lot of our swimmers. Theo O'Keefe winning the battle over Ellie Wheeler, ultimately by 0.18 seconds. And that was very enticing as well towards the dying embers of it. Let's have a look at who got into 5th position then, because we almost forgot about the rest of the pool with the drama happening at the front. Rachel Bradley in lane 0 for Middlesbrough, claiming the 5th fastest time in that heat. Annalise Carver-Varela of Barnet Cockfall in lane 8 in 6th. And then Salisbury coming on top of Torrington. Rebecca Reid touching home on 18:30.22. And what will Sadie Flynn's time be? 18:43.5. We'll get confirmation of those results. All 10 of those swimmers now could take a bit of a breather and see how their times go up against those coming up in their age categories in the later heats. Heat 4 results on the screen. Up next is heat number 5. Make sure your tweets keep coming in, and of course that competition still rumbling on. You've got 3 more heats to go, including this one, in order to get your entry in. It's a very, very good Tia backpack on offer. Brilliant, dude. Just send in a funny picture. Doesn't even have to be of yourself, anything going off here. I'm sure there's someone snoozing somewhere in the stand. Get a snapshot of them. Put it in to the hashtag SummerChamps18, the best of which will be awarded here this afternoon with that Tia backpack. It is big, it is very useful if you have a friend, a daughter, a son, a teammate in need of a big swim bag. Look no further, and you get it for free. What more could you want? The hashtag SummerChamps18 also available for the rest of your tweets as well. Ellen Bowen, she's in the 100 free final tonight. Whoop whoop, first ever British national final. Hashtag Blue and Gold Army. A big well done there to the Team Bath swimmer. Team Bath also tweeting not just about Rhiannon, but also Laura McNabb as well. Double whammy for them in the 100 free finals. Well done to Team Bath. Carl saying got Zoe coming back for a 100 freestyle final tonight. We'll have to remind her to turn and swim back. And also looking at the results for the team as well. Boys relay dropping 23 seconds from the regionals and qualifying for the final. More to come. Our boys have been excellent all summer championships. As I say, cheering on Lucy Pearce in the women's 1500 metre all the way from Germany. Two cracky pictures as well from Paul McRae, put on the hashtag. Day 1 and 2 from some of the Welsh contenders at the Summer Champs this year. Chantal Smith, of course, previously going, and let's give a shout out for her. Feeling like quite a while ago now. University of Birmingham getting in touch. Zoe making it to the final tonight for 100 free. Fingers crossed for her. Good luck, Zoe. Helen says she'll be watching how T Bath going tonight. While in the car on the way to training, she'll just clarify that she'll have to listen as the eyes will be on the road, which is reassuring. She says the passengers will be cheering. I'm sure they will be cheering, Helen. Just make sure the eyes are on the road, otherwise they will be screaming and cheering. And also a tweet coming in as well. Well, Paul, always a pleasure, he says. Represent so many Welsh swimmers and clubs at the Summer Champs 18. Certainly is. Chloe also just getting in touch in the last couple of minutes, go smash this 1500 meg. So let's have a look at who is in the pool right now. In heat 5, as I say, we get to heat 7, we swim that, and then we will be done for this mid-afternoon session, but then we will come with a final heat declared winner, if you like, heat number 8, at the start of the evening session at 4:30 p.m. So in this heat, lane 0 from Carnbray is Megan Bingo. And 1 from City of Manchester Aquatics, that's Emma Dixon. 2 representing Hoddesdon, Lily Merritt. 3 from Northampton, Freya Stevens. 4 from Wolverhampton School, Keely Murcott. And 5 is Kelly's Moral Francis. 6 from Wrekin College, Ella Thatcher Plant. 7 from Guildford City, Isabel Bryant. 8 from Guildford as well as Genevieve Butcher. And in 9 from City of Manchester, Erin Whelan. Can't think of too many times in these heats so far. A favourite, if you like, swimming in lane 4. Supposed to go up from the start and get in the driving seat. Standby for that position is Lily Merritt in lane 2 from Hoddesdon. Francis will reckon that she can get up there as well, I'm sure. Nick Kelly. These swimmers nicely tucked behind them as well. And wintering on the periphery of the front three and ready to launch an attack. Coming you through as well. Some of the age categories we've got going on here. Momentarily done with the 13-14-year-olds. There are a couple still to come. With none in here. So we'll start with the 15-year-olds with Lily Merritt in 2, Isabel Bright in 7, Genevieve Moller-Butcher in 8, and Erin Hoyland in 9. 16-year-olds, there's 3 of those. Megan Vingo in 0, Emma Dixon in 1, and Keely Murcott, should I say, in 4. And the 2 17, 18-year-old swimmers either side of Kelly Murcott. Freya Stevens in 3, Molly Francis in 5. Murcott leading, Merritt second, Francis third. Will anyone from behind them manage to influence that at the front? Hashtag Summer Champs 18. Richard getting in touch. Good luck to Caitlin Hall in the 1500. Caitlin Hall, should I say, coming up in the 1500 in the next heat. Heat number 6. Hashtag Nervous Dad. Hashtag Granny Athlete. Good to see he's got the live stream all set up and ready for that one. And we're not too far away from it. Keely Murcott in lane 4, still ahead. And a testament to quite a few of the girls we've had in the pool so far. They also usually lead at the front, stay there, or at least stay in the top 3. And Murcott, another example of that, as is Lily Merritt. We've mentioned her right from the beginning. And Thatcher Plant, relatively new on the scene. Certainly Megan Vingo as well, of Carnbray in 3rd position. The latest impact on the wall. The final 250 metres. Murcott in the 16-year age group. Ella Thatcher Plant in there as well, as is Vingo. 3 of your front 4 are in the 16-year age group bout. Lily Merritt below. This will be encouraging for her. There it goes. Time for the bell. Keely Murcott hearing it first. A lead that she's had all the way through this. Maybe a little bit smaller than it was a couple hundred metres ago. Lily Merritt going for it a little bit harder. Megan Vingo from the outside is still holding on to 3rd position. Ella Thatcher Plant is scrapping away with the 16-year-old rival. To her left in lane 7, of course, is Isabel Bryant of Guildford. She's leading out of the 15-year-old swimmers right now, apart from Lily Merritt, so not a bad swim from her. Lily Merritt just going that little bit further at the moment. So 25 metres to go then. Keely Murcott is coming in. She's standing at a PB. It's very 17:35.59. That's not going to be beaten, is it? Oh, it is. Very marginal PB that for Keely Murcott, but they all count. Lily Merritt second then, 17:40.56. I think come the rest bombing in towards home. Excellent show of a 2nd, 3rd, 4th win there with Vingo. 17:44.58, holding on ahead of Ella Thatcher Plant and Isabel Bryant, who gave it everything they had going towards the end, separated by 0.36 seconds. All of our swimmers finishing there on 18 minutes or below. Confirmation of that on the scoreboard. Up next, heat 6.
We are in heat number 6 then. Vera Kabani to Sheffield on the near side to us. Lane 0, Lucy Woodliff, Grimsby in lane 1. Lucy Headley at timeout in 2. Amelia Rod of Redditch in 3. Sophie Freeman in 4 for Colchester. Kennedy goes for Stockport Metro in 5. Olivia Clears here Manchester Crafts in 6. Kaylin Hall of Aberdeen goes in 7. Daisy Hill, Kingston Oval in 8. Tegan Child, Beckenham goes in 9. Freeman has gone off to the best of the starts. Her personal best is 17:41.17. That was done in Basildon in May. Just 14. Interesting to see how much you can take off the personal best. The record for a 14-year-old is 16:41.44, maybe a bit too much when asked. We've got another 14-year-old in number 7, it has to be said. And that is Millie Balding of Borough of Kirklees. He's got a entry time of 17:38.60. Which is also her personal best, so you'd have to go some to challenge it, but at the moment she's being pushed along by Amelia Rod of Redditch. Rod's got a 17:42 as her personal best, 17:42.11 to be precise. it is Amelia Rod, who will see the number 17 at the diving pin end being held by the officials first. Going well on the far side, Tegan Child with Beckenham as well. Tegan's personal best 17:49.25. Again, that's what's down as the entry. Don't always get that many opportunities to do the 1500 metres, of course. And we'll see the guys tackle the 800 tomorrow as well.
Tegan Child of Beckenham doing a superb job at the moment. I understand she's the daughter of a couple of our marshals as well here in Ponds Forge in these British Championships. I'm sure they'll be internally willing her on. And of course, we say Tegan Child doing a great job. Our officials, as ever, doing a superb job as well, giving up their time to be here with us in the Steel City over the course of the week. Work with a smile on their face, even with a short lunch in the last couple of days. They still crack on and do a tremendous job, so we always appreciate that, of course. The pool really close together, and I mean, Daisy Hill's doing well at the minute. She's just lost a cap in lane 8, and I don't know if she's going to be able to keep up this sort of pace for much longer. Olivia Clare right now in third, and Sophie Freeman in fourth, with Amelia Rod in third. Daisy Hill's doing well here. Not ideal kneecap to slip off, but still marching on, still second. Still a slither between her and Olivia Clare. The exact split difference in that latest turn, 0.65. It is beginning to level up a bit. Sophie Freeman, tremendous young swimmer. First time I've seen her over such a long distance like this, but certainly in this region dominates a lot of age categories. Different when it comes to the national stage, of course, but still has picked up a fair amount of gongs as well. Whenever she comes to the Steel City, whether it be in the English events or the British events. The tectonic plates of 6 and 8 have now shifted, and it is Olivia Clare who has that lead over Daisy Hill. Sophie Freeman as well now roping back in. Daisy Hill a wee bit. Seeing if further back if anyone's going to join them at the front. Sphera Gabani should best bet of that happening, but too much money on that at this stage. Tegan Child almost going unnoticed in lane 9. To make sure here that the arms don't tire, that the arms go into the water nicely. No slapping on the water. It's a nice entry and a comfortable stroke, as comfortable as you can be at this point. Great retaliation from Amelia Rod. Well, wait a minute, it's Amelia Rod now skipping past Daisy Hill. She's brought back Sophie Freeman, who seems to have a little bit of a stint where she was promising to just push on and not look back, but that has been stopped well and truly. These tracks almost at source. Tegan Charles going to hear the bell soon. And she has been superb so far in this swim. Let's just remind ourselves, 17:49.25 was the time she came to Sheffield with in this event in order to qualify in the first place. I think she's going to get, I would say right now, about half a minute off of that. Unless something catastrophic happens in the final 100. And the bells begin to ring in unison. Every time you take your eye off those three, in the middle, Olivia Clare in 6, Sophie Freeman in 4, Amelia Rod in 3, something changes drastically, and now it's Freeman at the back of the 3. Almost like bikes in the peloton in the Tour de France, just changing pace. But of course in a pool, when you're in your separate lane, you don't want to be doing that, and Freeman's at the back now with Clare at the tip of the triangle and Rod in the middle. Meanwhile, back to Tegan Child. Extraordinarily dominant performance Well, Tegan Child deserves a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. 17:22.72. That's 27 seconds almost off what she got on her entry. That is absolutely huge. And then in come the rest of them now. Fascinating battle throughout. Olivia Clare in second, Amelia Rodd third, Sophie Freeman fourth, Daisy Hill still getting a decent time. PB there for Sophie Freeman as well. Daisy Hill, adversity losing the cap at the most ideal point, 2/3 of the way through. Olivia Clare in second, getting her PB. Amelia Rodd as well, making it 4 PBs for the top 4 there. Daisy Hill still managing to get herself a PB. Have to take a few breaths before diving back into the pool to recover the cap. Sarah Gabani of City of Sheffield has also managed to get a PB there with 17:46.4. Fantastic swimming from our swimmers in heat number 6. Real credit to themselves, their clubs, and their family and friends as well. So we'll get the confirmation of those results in ascending order. And there we have them, Charles from Clare from Rodd. Let's move on to the final heat, heat 7. And 0 from Borough of Kirklees. Emily Balding. 1 from City of Peterborough, Mackenzie Wyatt. 2 from Ellesmere College Titans, Phoebe Griffiths. 3 from East Kilbride, Nikki Miller. Eve Hoffland is from Royal Wolverhampton School in 4. 5 from Wickham District, Amelia Sansom. 6. Andrew Miles from Thanet Swim, Chloe Stennett of Chesterfield in 7, Megan Davies of Barnet Cockhall in 8, and Millie Emmons of City of Cambridge in 9. A reminder that the warm-up for this evening's final session has now started. It's in the diving pit. And make sure you are aware that there is not as much room in the diving pit as there is in the main pool. But at the end of this race, and once our officials have left the pool side, do feel free to transfer yourselves from the diving pit and into the main pool for the regular warm-up ahead of the final session. Of course, that final session beginning at 4:30, where we'll kick things off from where we left off with the time final, Heat 8 of the women's 1500 freestyle. It's the final chance swimmers have got in those age categories that are still concerned in Heat 8 to really put a challenging time out there, and as the old expression goes, put the cats amongst the pigeons. Lots of cats, lots of pigeons, but lots of medals to be given out at the end of this. Just the 5 lots of gold, silver and bronze medals across the different age categories. And these girls will really fancy themselves. These are in the top 20 fastest entries for this event here in Sheffield this week. What sort of times are we going to see? Let's see 1 or 2 push towards 17 minutes. Anything lower than 17.5 minutes for these girls will be an achievement. Some have gone 5-10 seconds lower than that previously in their careers. Some in careers out there as well. Millie Balding in lane 0 is solo in the 13-14 year category, in 3rd at the moment. No 15-year-old swimmers in this, but in the 16-year category, Mackenzie Wyatt in 1, Eve Hoffland 4, Olivia Mars in 6, Chloe Stella in 7. Then in the 17-18 year category, we have 4 of those swimmers: Phoebe Griffiths in 2, Nikki Miller in 3, Amelia Sansom in 5, and Megan Davis in 8. The rest in senior category, by the rest, I mean just Millie Emmons, of course. In the final heat, the time final, there'll be 15, 16, 17, 18 and 19 and above categories involved in that. So Millie Balding really is the only swimmer here who can possibly take away a gold right here and right now in this heat, as she's the last in her age group to actually be taking part in this event. What sort of time she's looking at? Well, beats a PB, it's more or less done it.
is indeed your last chance to enter the competition that we've been running all of our morning session and do these 1,500 metres as well. We're looking for pictures from, again, you could be a swimmer, a coach, a volunteer, or indeed a member of the viewing public here at Ponds Forge. You just need to send us a funny picture of yourself in the venue, make us laugh, and you could win a TIA Alliance rucksack. All you need to do is send that via Twitter or Instagram with the hashtag SummerChamp18 and the hashtag TIA, which is obviously TYR. Thank you very much to TIA UK and Ireland for supplying us with a couple of rucksacks over the last couple of days. Young Nadine enjoyed winning hers yesterday. Will you be the winner of the bag today?
Over the halfway point of this final heat. It's Phoebe Griffiths, who's our leader. We've seen a lot of our heat so far. The swimmer that's gone out in front around this stage has usually won it. Isn't always the case. It's certainly not going to be a simple task from here on in for Phoebe Griffiths, with Niamh Hofland in lane 4 and Amelia Sansom in lane 5, second and third at the moment. Just prowling on the tail. And Griffiths in 0 as well, Millie Boulding, as you say. She can get the gold medal in this for the 13-14 year category. Should she swim a time good enough? The rest of them just swimming into darkness, really not really knowing what that time means just yet until that time final is complete. A couple at the top, and the spectators stand on the far side, finding it so hard to watch. They're actually behind some seats. I'm just wanting to utilise the air bench a bit better. I don't know quite what's going on there, but anyway, back to the pool. It's Sansom better in Hofland, and the width in front. You can see the line of 3 making up 5th, 6th and 7th. Lane 6, Olivia Miles. A long way from Fanny. Down here in Kent. 3 here, and lane 3, Nikki Miller. He's called Bride. Just as on a trick from the other direction. And lane 1, as you like from City of Peterborough. Couple of eyes, of course. Down the A1. Into the last 450. And we're seeing here Phoebe Griffiths beginning to tire. Or is it just a case of Amelia Sansom getting quicker to upping the pace? Niamh Hofland just trying to stay afloat. And the back of the 2. She is not adapting her game plan to suit the 2 around her. She's going to wait for her moment. She'll know exactly when that is. Hofland's time coming into the 17:25.8. She's in the 16-year category. She, at the minute, leads out of the 16-year-old swimmers as well. Coming up in the time final, there's just 2 swimmers in that category, so she'll be hoping that she'll be good enough here for at least bronze, with Robin Wetherell and Michaela Glenister still to come. As for Sansom, 17-18 year category is hotly contested. 3 more swimmers still to come there, so this is necessary, isn't it, for Amelia Sansom to produce the performance that she is at this present moment. .300 metres to go. Griffiths occupying second. Don't seem to be deteriorating physically. Also isn't quite offering the same level of kick that Sansom is, and Hoffland is, you'd argue, as well. So it's a little bit more control with Sansom in first. And having said that, Griffith is still the same sort of margin behind us what was before. It's around 138, the difference. Good support for Millie Boulding in lane 0. Doesn't matter where she finishes in this heat. No one else in the pool. There's of one care in the world to her. It is about the time that she gets at the end of it. And she's having to swim her own race as well in lane 0. She's quite a bit in front of Mackenzie Wyatt. And there's no one on the other side of it, apart from her coaches and teammates. Head down, carry on. Hope it's enough at the end of it all. It should be. She'll have to swim around a PB time, 17:38.16. That is looking promising, and we'll have to get a better idea of that when she gets towards the bell and the final 100 metres. So let's have a check-in towards the front once more. 2.22 the difference between Amelia Sansom and Phoebe Griffiths now. And Griffiths looks as though she will end this length really as close to third as she is to first. At the minute she is closer to Sansom, but is Hoffland getting any quicker? Can't really see that sort of progress that we may have expected at this point from her. Now the race really intensifying as the bells are thrown into play, and it's just 100 metres separating the front runners from the end of this gruelling session here in Ponds Forge, the women's 1500 metre freestyle edition this year, and one that certainly was relished as a challenge rather than out of enjoyment, and Sansom has taken to it really well. The 17-18 year category is a long way from being resolved. It will be around 90 minutes time after we have that time final at the start of the evening session at 4:30. But Sansom has done all she can for now. It's just that last little burst, that last little bit of pain for what could be a lot of pleasure at the end of it. It is going to be the quickest time we have had so far in the heats. It will be 17:07.94. Winning confirmation on the time that Phoebe Griffiths got. It's 17:11.58. Hoffland in on 17:18.03. Millie Boulding. Oh, well, she said she had to get towards her PB. Just go a little bit further. 17:22.59. Tremendous from the Borough of Kirklees swimmer. Can't jump the gun just yet and say that the goal is hers in the 13-14 year category, but there's certainly no one to come after her in that discussion. And she very much like she is at top of the tree in that respect. All 10 of our swimmers have finished. All 7 of our heats for now have finished. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for our 1500 metre freestylers in what was a very tough session indeed. Of course, the final session will begin with heat 8. And that will be the timed final. As we just await the confirmation of those results. There they are. So we'll be back at 4:30 with the start of the finals. Pre-show beginning around an hour's time. Do make sure you get your seats early enough for that. And also the warm-up now beginning in the main pool for this evening's session. So feel free, swimmers, to hop in. For those in the diving pit.